Hey folks, good morning. James Azar here with the CyberHub Podcast. Happy Thursday. We're almost at the end of this week. It is a very special weekend for me personally. Before I get started on today's podcast, it is Rosh Hashanah tomorrow. And so tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday is the Jewish New Year, and I'm very, very excited. So Shana Tova to all of our fans and listeners over in Israel or anyone who is of a Jewish descent. Shana Tova. May this year be written as the year of peace, as we've already started to see as evident by the peace agreement the other day between Israel, the UAE, and Bahrain. A great achievement for global peace. Before we get started on today's podcast, though, make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars. And if you're subscribing right here on YouTube, make sure you hit the notification bell every day, 11 a.m. Eastern. You get our Practitioner Brief Monday through Thursday, as well as you get our CISO Talks and Tech Corner. I got a really, really cool Tech Corner coming out tomorrow with my very good friend Javed Malik of KnowBe4. We have a very fascinating conversation. You'll definitely want to tune in to that as well. You can also go to CyberHub Podcast, subscribe, get our Practitioner Brief in a PDF format directly in your inbox daily. And now let's get right into what is going on today in the world. So I'm going to start off with a story, and you're going to ask me, James, why are you looking at this? And as a CISO, I'll tell you why I'm looking at this. This is really critical. So 5 Chinese suspects have been charged in connections with over to 100 breaches. So federal prosecutors yesterday unsealed indictments that charge 5 Chinese suspects, alleged members of the APT41 hacking group, with breaching more than 100 companies, government agencies, and other organizations around the world. The DOJ alleges that the hackers conducted attacks to steal source code, software code, signing certificates, customer account data, and valuable business information. Arrest warrants have been issued, although the U.S. and China do not have an extradition treaty, so we're going to have to wait for these guys to go to Greece or Spain to catch them. In connection to this investigation, though, police in Malaysia arrested 2 citizens based on the indictment filed. Malaysia is expected to actually turn over those citizens. The names and everything is on our PDF. You can go get it there. I'm not going to butcher their names, but I will say the following. Why does this matter? This is a huge talking point with the boards. Huge. Understanding who our enemies, who our opponents are in the cyber realm, and understanding the resources they have, and then understanding the wide reach of the U.S. government and how the government is investigating and the background of these attacks and how they operate is critical to inform the board so that the board can support a enhanced cybersecurity project. If you're struggling to get budget, if you're struggling to get attention as a chief information security officer, then this story is a clear indication of who our opponents are and the kind of not only budgets but cooperations we need. I typically always get pushback from general counsels or CEOs or boards about, having a line of communication with the FBI, Secret Service, and so forth. And I go, well, why? And I get, well, and this is a perfect example of why. My opponents isn't a traditional, the idea of some guy wearing a hoodie in a basement somewhere. It's foreign governments, it's espionage, it's corporate espionage done on a diplomatic level. And I have to constantly defend my organization against that being undermanned, underfunded, underpowered, you name it. So this is critical. That's why I'm looking at this today. I'm smiling. We've seen 4 or 5 indictments this week come out from the DOJ in regards to cyber criminals. We're obviously seeing an uptick. The capabilities of the investigations by the FBI, by the Secret Service, by the Department of Justice are obviously unbelievable. This is great news, folks, and this is really critical for us to know that we can bring these people to justice. Sorry for going on too long on that, but that's critical. A very interesting story from ImmuniWeb, where 97% of cybersecurity companies have leaked data on the dark web. This is a new report into the global cybersecurity industry's exposure on the dark web. Global application security company ImmuniWeb uncovered that 97% of the leading cybersecurity companies have data leaks or other security incidents exposed on the dark web, while on average there are over 4,000 stolen credentials and other sensitive data exposed per cybersecurity company. Showing you that the incident isn't immune, that technology isn't the only thing that is going to solve this problem. This is really interesting, not to point at our vendors and partners and laugh, but the idea to show that if when I work with a cybersecurity vendor, one of my first questions is, who's your internal chief information security officer? And if they don't have one, that raises a red flag with me. And I don't know if you guys ask that question, but I would urge you to do that. You'd be surprised how many times people go, well, we're all security guys. And I go, not really. Chances are your sales and marketing people are not security people. They're sales and marketing people who work for a security company. Your technology guys could be technology, but who's your internal security guy? And if they don't have it, that makes me question whether or not I want to have a relationship with that organization. I think that's a critical question to be asking folks at this time. There's a bunch of data on this report. Again, you can get it all on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com in our PDF. We're going a little over time, so I won't be able to go into the details. And finally, the DdoS attack skyrockets as the pandemic bites. Neustar's Security Operations Center saw a 151% increase in DdoS attacks in the period of the first half of 2020, including one of the largest and longest attacks that Neustar's has ever mitigated. The attack came in at 1.17 terabits per second and lasted 5 days and 18 hours in total. My good friend Daniel Smith yesterday out of Radware also published a report about the increase in DDoS attacks. We're starting to see these attacks come back, especially now with the work from home workplace. So keeping an eye on that, and also speaking to my employees, sending out an IoT guidance document to everyone is critical to ensure that people, change admin. I've made people within my team or even myself available to help some people reset different IoT devices that they have in their home, do some firmware updates and so forth in order to ensure they have a little bit of security. Sometimes going the extra mile gets us fans in our organization and also helps us. We're right around the corner from Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and so we'll be talking a lot about that in October. That's it for our Practitioner Brief here today, but other stories I have highlighted in our PDF that you can go get on our website. Hackers continue cyber attacks against the Vatican and Catholic orgs. Windows 10 workaround to cure Lenovo's ThinkPad PC BSODs actually has a security effect, and hackers divert VA payments intended for healthcare providers. That's it for today. Make sure you subscribe tomorrow. Tech Corner with Javad Malik. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be epic, I promise you that. Javed, myself, and Eric are going to be coming to you guys at the end of the month with a very, very special live edition on YouTube and LinkedIn, answering your questions and talking about the stories of the month of September. We'll be doing that monthly, so make sure you tune in to that as well. Don't miss tomorrow's Tech Corner. Make sure you subscribe. Our CISO Talk this week will be published next week due to Rosh Hashanah. And that's it for us here today, folks. Until Monday, we'll all be back with so much more, folks. Stay cyber safe, and Shana Tova to all of our listeners and our community. I hope you guys have a very, very sweet year. Shana Tova ve'metuka lekulam, ve'am Yisrael chai.